Hey, what's going on, everybody? Needed to post this video, something urgent, something I wanted to put on y'all's radar, and something to keep an eye on. I'm not a rocket scientist or anything, but these are things that I kind of monitor every day, just trying to understand, how things may play out. Knowing what we've been going through, with a lot of stuff in the world, and as you know, these markets they've been kind of pushing higher and higher, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Excuse me. And talk about debt and just a lot of different things that are going on in the world, war, and I mean I don't want to get into all the details of all these things that are happening, but it looks like looking at the charts, doing a technical analysis around how this market's performing, starting to see some cracks in the market here, and it's not looking pretty. As you can see, what I have up right now, I have four different charts up here, things that I've just been kind of figuring out if I want to take a position in one of these trades up here as far as the SQQ goes on when to start shorting the market, right? Another big player in the market is Apple. So when we start to see Apple showing some cracks, that's also kind of concerning. Knowing that Apple is a big company that everybody supposedly has shares of this they're holding in their portfolio. But over the last week or so, I've been hearing a lot of news also as everybody's dumping their shares of Apple. And I'm not sure what's going on and why people are dumping their shares. Are they expecting a big move to the downside? I mean, who really knows? So these are things that we're just keeping an eye on. And something that I did want to point out today, just looking over some of the history around these charts, especially as far as the SPY goes, the S&P 500 index here. Let me just kind of show y'all what I'm looking at. For all of y'all that are tuning in, I appreciate y'all just taking the time to chat with me this morning. I don't do a lot of these videos, but sometimes it's just, I want to just talk. I need to get out some stuff that I think about. I need to vent a little bit, and I think a public forum like this would be a perfect place to do so, especially just trying to inform y'all on what's really going on and things they might not share as far as in the news and stuff like that. Everybody wants to make us feel that everything's always on the upside, but that's not always the case, especially if you make sense of a lot of different things that are going on. When's going to come that time that we start to really feel the pressure. And right now the the SPY, uh, this index here, the SPY is what they call it. This is the S&P 500. As you can see, we've been pumping up since late last year, October or so. We hit this low here, and since then we've been pushing to the upside, hitting these all-time highs. And kind of just drill in here a little bit more. So this is a 10-year period, as you can see, going all the way back. When's this go back to? 2015 here. But as you can see, I kind of put some notes here on the chart. And 4 years ago to this day, as you can see here, February 28th, 2020, this is when the pandemic hit, y'all. I mean, the news started to linger around this time, in early February. And before you know it, a lot of this news really started to come in, and we started to hear a lot of people getting sick. And I'm not really sure if this is something that's going to play out this year. It's just something that I noticed just to looking at the history. Right now, we're looking good. We're pushing to the upside. We're all green today, but looking at history 4 years ago, 4 years ago, uh, yeah, this is the same day. Today is the 28th. It's 10 a.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. But 4 years ago to this day, we've seen the market crash. We had some news on the pandemic hitting, certain countries and things like that, people getting sick, and it put a lot of fear into the market, and we came crashing down, starting in February all the way, hitting that low and the end of March there. So as we start to approach March, it's a little concerning just to think of, when this market is really going to give out. As you can see, since that pandemic, we've been running up. We hit a high here also. I want to say at the January of 2022, and we kind of sold off then also a little bit. but we were able to get some traction. We didn't come all the way back down, and then we pushed up again. And since then, we've pushed up even beyond that point that we hit in 2022. You see that? And we're at an all-time high of we hit 510 here, last week. And now the question is, are we going to continue to push higher? I mean, look at the market right now. We're still pumping this morning, and I mean, we still got to break through this 510 to know if we're going to continue to push higher. But right now is kind of the question: are we going to move up or are we going to move down? And we're kind of consolidating within this range right here, and it's a little concerning. I don't know really how to feel. Keeping a close eye on this. If you look into the 30-minute chart here, since that 510 mark, we've been kind of trending down, as you see, every day. But we're starting to hit this breaking point again. So are we going to be able to break through? What is this, 507.30? And if so, then we'll have to break through 508 will be the next level, and then seeing if we can continue to push higher. But as we start to approach March, excuse me, the question is something going to give? Is something going to hit the news? Is something going to happen around the world that's going to cause this market to give out? I know we're talking about a government shutdown lingering also right now, is what I've been reading in the news. And they're pushing this until the 1st, which is Friday. And Biden's saying there's going to be a ceasefire as far as these hostages goes in Gaza and all that Israeli and Palestinian warfare that they got going on at the time. At this time, but I'm not sure as far as all the details around these stories and articles that I read, but all this stuff is happening. Everybody's putting this out in the news, wanting us to think, is this the deadline? Is this the day that we're waiting for? Is this the day we're going to see something happen? Will it happen before then? I mean, who knows? But we got to be aware, y'all. We got to be in the know and understand what's about to happen and what's about to take place. Looking at a lot of the stocks, everything's looking good and green. I mean, Nvidia, all these AI stocks, these microchip manufacturers, they've been pumping up, over the last few months, just doubling, tripling in value, and it's just crazy. Is it going to continue to just keep pumping? Like, what's causing the market to move up when there's all this other stuff happening around the world? And I'm not trying to get real political on this conversation. It's just something that hey man, I think a lot. I want to get it out sometimes. I just want to share what I do see and what I do understand. Right now we're in a shaky situation, y'all, and who knows what's about to happen. I would protect your assets. Be sure you understand what you're invested in, and just be ready to pivot, because when the time comes, we're all going to look at probably a rug getting pulled out from under us, and it'll probably happen when we're unexpecting it. We're least expecting it, that is. And you just need to protect your money. Protect what y'all already been earning over the last few months. I know I've been trading in and out of stocks, making a little change. I don't really play too actively over the last few months in the market because I've been a little paranoid, thinking, when's the time coming? I've been watching this for too long now, and even though I continue to be a little bearish on the situation, it seems to not have been playing in my favor. But I really feel like that time's coming, and maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a rocket scientist out here just predicting and putting all these calculations together to give you all the answers, but it makes sense to me. What goes up must come down. We're pushing to a high. We've hit a high on the SPY. How much farther can this go? Big question is, 2020, the pandemic. Look at the charts, y'all. The charts don't lie. Same time last year we took that dive. Is this something that happens every 4 years? Is this a pattern? This is today. We were at a high, an all-time high at that time, right? And then we sold off, boom. And since then, everything's been gravy, right? So they seem, make it seem that way for us. I mean, this has been going up for a while now, y'all. 6 months or so, 8 months. If we do come back, I mean, who knows how far we can come down here. I can't even tell you on that. We have a couple of levels of support, 477 here, give or take. 78. We can come all the way back down to 450. break below 450 though, I mean, look out below y'all because that's where it's really gonna get scary out here. But the big question is when. It's not if, it's when. When is it gonna happen? I'll give it a week and we'll know. Will the government shut down in March? I don't know. We'll wait and see, y'all. But just wanted to alert y'all, put this out there. Let me know what y'all feel about it. Just go ahead and comment on the video, whether you like it or not. It's something I wanted to share with y'all. But thumbs up to those that appreciate the news, and just let me know how y'all feel. Peace out, y'all.